We took a trip in the fall a few years ago, and we were initially focused on Tuscany as a place to live, just sort of, knowing Tuscany a little bit and knowing the types of homes that were there. And we started our search, and most of what we found was really not in great shape, or not something that we wanted to undertake from a restoration standpoint. But then we eventually found Procopio in Umbria.
We flew immediately out here and absolutely fell in love and knew this was going to be our home. It's in the countryside. I hope, my children will take over and raise their children here, and that would be a great honor for us if they keep it in, generations after generations.
When we bought it, it had already been restored. Interestingly, it had never been lived in as a primary home. It was essentially a guest house for another individual. Even though it had been restored quite extensively, it had been neglected. And so when we found it, it was beautiful, but it needed work, particularly the landscape. We've been here 3 years now, and we've had to do a considerable amount of work.
And still, it never ends.
Yes, it never ends.
But we've changed a lot of things. We put our personal touch on it, each room. The footprint was here, but we remodeled the dining room, all the bathrooms. We've just did a little bit more to make it to the standard we wanted it to be. Hi, Homeworthy. Welcome to our castello in Italy. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Welcome to the Grand Salon, which is where we do most of our entertaining with guests when we're not outside. It's breathtaking in so many ways, and we'll start with sort of the center fireplace, which was found in Brussels, but dates back to 1696, and we believe it was either in a monastery or a convent, because it has a religious symbol in the middle. Above the fireplace is an extraordinary wood sculpture of St. James the Moor Slayer, which dates back to the 10th century. It was a common sculpture to commemorate Spain's victory over the Moors, and was found in many churches throughout Spain. Over here we have a beautiful historic Flemish tapestry from the 18th century, which has been wonderfully restored. It depicts the goddess Diana during the hunt. If you can sort of pan into it, you'll see the animals and the people obviously engaged in the seasonal hunting. Over here we have a beautiful painting of Cardinal Francesco Peretti, which dates to the 17th century. And it's complemented by on the wall on the far side above the cabinetry, we have 3 wood medallions. In between the 2 angels is a centerpiece, which is the coat of arms for Pope Clement X, who was also the governor of Umbria prior to becoming pope in the 17th century. These chairs are extraordinary. They were found in Paris, and they're from the 18th century. And it's a beautiful technique where they essentially sew tapestry into the leather to create this sort of three-dimensional effect. It's just a beautiful piece and one of our favorite pieces in the castle. The cabinetry throughout the castle is extraordinary because it has the feeling of always having been here, but it was actually made by local artisans that we know that have the ability to just replicate the style and the look of monasteries and churches that were built and during the medieval period. The ceiling here is quite special, not only in its height, but it was commissioned by art students from the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, and they've done a wonderful job replicating the style of the Baroque style, actually, of a castle or a modern palazzo. I mean, the history of Procopio is quite exceptional, right? It dates back to the 10th century when it was believed to be a monastery, and where it sits on Monte Tezio it's sort of self-explanatory as to why it exists. It has a spectacular view of the Tiber River Valley, and from a defense or from a strategic standpoint, you can see, for extensively in terms of, if there were people oncoming. So you can sense just by virtue of what we see and what we view that it's had significance for many centuries. And so, after the monastery, its first sort of noted historical moment is when Frederick Barbarossa, commissioned a fort here in the 12th century, and it's believed that fort commenced somewhere around 1160. The modern day castle, or at least the structure of the castle, commenced in the 15th century, and so that's sort of the structure that existed before its significant restoration, 10, 15 years ago. But throughout the centuries, it's been a monastery, it's been a fortress, it's been a castle, and it's been a significant position in the trade routes between Firenze and Roma. And so it's really played a very critical role, and you understand that when you live here because of what you can see in the valley. We see Assisi from our front yard, which is sort of a special gift for us, that we were able to see such a beautiful historic city just from the comfort of our own home.
For me, this is my forever home. Like, I could just spend forever here. This is our dining room, which we recently redecorated. We added Fortuny fabrics, Venetian plaster. One of our most favorite pieces in mine is this wood painting. It's the Annunciation. As you can see it right here, it's where, God tells Mary she's going to be with child. This painting's by Emilio Sanavesci, 17th century, and it's more like Caravaggio style with the lighting. We have several antique pieces that come from Paris, Brussels, even Italy, so it's kind of a little eclectic, but we wanted it to seem true to the history, medieval. So we have, 16th century French chairs, we have tapestries.
We have a lot of fabrics that are both from Italy and from France, and so, as Kim said, the castle dates back to the 12th century, and so when you live in something that has this sort of richness and extraordinary history, the restoration essentially captured the feeling of it's been owned for generations. So it's as if it's been in the same family for 800, 900 years. And so it does have collections from France. It does have collections from Italy, from England, and so forth. So it really is an interesting blend of centuries and tastes from very different countries.
And we also have some modern pieces that, we brought back from Texas and the U.S. So it's just a blend of, many centuries put together.
Welcome to everybody's favorite room in Italy, the kitchen. This kitchen is extraordinary, not only in its restoration, but the fact that it just blends the original castle structure with the modern elegance of a Michelin-level kitchen. The cabinet maker is Morone's, which is known by chefs around the world. They do bespoke kitchens, and just everything was measured to detail. Everything was measured to sort of create high functionality that we can serve our immediate family, which is just 4 of us, or guests in the hundreds. So this has both this level and there's another level below. Welcome to the Cardinale Suite. It's one of our guest favorites, and you're about to see why. It's a suite that is worthy of the Vatican itself, as it's draped in both red velvet and gold. We have 4 paintings of cardinals. Each suite has etched above the suite the actual name of the suite. Like in this, obviously you can see Cardinale here. And probably the best surprise of all is this, since we're on the top of Procopio, you have this extraordinary 360 view of both Procopio itself, the gardens, the pool, and the Tiber Valley below. It's really a special place to be, a special place to live, and just really take in all that Umbria has to offer. It's quite special. Most of these pieces were curated throughout Europe. We have the bed is 17th century that we purchased in France. The chairs are 18th and 17th century, and they were actually purchased at a famous antique market in Parma, Italy, which is also where Parmesan cheese is from. So it's really like most of the castle. It's a collection of items that really just sort of speak to the richness and culture of Europe, not just Italy, but the surrounding countries.
Welcome to the Royale Suite. This headboard was found in Parma. Owning a castle in Italy, this is like my dream bed, and this was found at an antique market in Parma, and it just fit perfect. This is a newer piece here that we've had made. Welcome to the master bathroom. We've recently remodeled this room as well. We found the chandelier and matching sconces in Arezzo at the market, and this wallpaper is Dijournay from France. This is one of our smallest rooms in the castle. The blues are just my favorite blues, and it's just one of my favorite rooms. It's cozy and it's very intimate and just amazing. These are actually books my daughter picked out of all her favorite stories that, she had growing up, and she color coded it to, blend with the room. The bed came from France, probably like 16th century. The bathroom here, we remodeled. This is DiGiorni wallpaper, the silk wallpaper. Picked this out to kind of, blend with the blue and the green. Thank you, Homeworthy, for coming. We love showing you around. See you soon.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.